when you talk about the different type of annoying workers, you mentioned in the book, and I thought it was interesting, the annoying worker who is connected. Could you talk about handling that person? Because a lot of us, I mean, like we're seeing around now, a lot of workplaces would have the boss's son or the niece and that person's annoying, and now you're the direct manager of that person. What do you do?
I'm so glad you picked up on that, Vanessa, because I think I'm one of the first people to talk about that in any management book. And it is a situation. Someone is always connected back to the big boss or a board member. It is a real situation. And it doesn't mean that these people don't have skills, and it doesn't mean that they might actually do a good job. But once again, the equation is different when they're connected. There's a story in the book about someone who asks me a question. If she wasn't the board member's daughter, I would say, tomorrow, leave me alone, I'm out the door. But I have to do this whole calculation now in my head about, is she gonna say I was cranky, I didn't help her, who she's going to report back to? So I have the same rules that I feel work for if I'm a younger person and I'm managing older people, if I'm managing someone connected. Always model your best self. Always model who you want to be. Don't treat anyone differently. So you should be treating everyone with respect, sincerity, and honesty. I can't do that now. I can do that tomorrow. I don't know why you always ask that question, but I don't really have a good answer. Let's discuss it another time when we have time. Or, my personal favorite, have you checked with so-and-so and get back to me, right? So you're giving them something. But I think you need to always model it. You need to treat them with respect, but you also need to have more confidence in yourself. I am the manager. I have this job. I do a good job, and I have to be true to what that economic contract is and what I'm doing with everybody. And if I stop to think about this person differently, that changes the situation.
I was going to say, wow, that's tough, because that's the CEO's lovely daughter there.
So I had a situation a few years ago where I had the board of directors' son working for me. Very formidable man, head of a major, managing partner of a major law firm in New York City. And what happens is you're on best behavior, right? He was an intern, actually, but you're on best behavior. And then what do you think happened? One day he was in my office, I got some news, and I was like, I reacted. But I wasn't against my team. It was a situation out in the field that we had to deal with. So I wasn't yelling at anyone on my team. I was like, how did this happen? What are we going to do? We got all hands on deck. And I looked at him, I'm like, you're not going to tell your father about this, are you? And he looked at me and goes, no. I said, no. And seriously, I took it offline with him, and I said, look, I have to, your father put you here because he values what we do and he knows you have something to learn from me. You're going to see some things that you need to use your judgment about if you want to be part of this team. You're free to go back and tell your father, but you have to really use your best judgment about what serves the business and what doesn't. And no one gets anything done, in an organization of this size without having a little fire in their belly. So when you see that fire in the belly, you can decide if you're scared of it or you're not and what you want to do with it. So I'm a big fan of honesty. Lay it right out there and call it what it is.